We are problem solvers, providing the highest quality service and results. We are a team of skilled professionals focused on customer needs and outcomes. We are 23 years of industry experience, adhering to the highest safety standards. We are Melbourne, and we are right across Victoria. We are the Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions. Lanco Group. We are more than you realise, and we are ready to partner with you.
Presented by Simonds. It's the Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio. We're back. The Green Room, the official Western United club show, coming to you live on FNR Football Nation Radio, and proudly presented, as always, by Simonds Homes, the great Australian builder. I'm Josh Parrish. I've got Nick Hughes here with me this week. Nick, what a game it was last night. Fantastic entertainment. Maybe a disappointing result as Western United are concerned, but we saw some young players come to the fore.
Yeah, absolutely. I think excitement is the word for it. Whether or not it was excitement that we necessarily would have liked is another question, but it was excitement nonetheless. Plenty of late goals, bit of late drama, and like you said, some of the young guys getting a shot and really making good on that chance as well, and having a good impact.
2-2 the final score up against MacArthur at Campbelltown Stadium. Nick Milanovic scoring his first ever goal for the club after coming through the youth ranks. Jerry Skotadis will be chatting to today as well. Those two boys, Jerry and Milo, are going to be joining us a little bit later. It was a well-taken goal. It was lovely, and it was a fantastic build-up as well. I think it started all the way with Tamaki at right back, a lovely little counter-attack, a couple of one-touch exchanges. I think, Wenzel Halls was involved, Milanovic was involved in the build-up, and Skotadis as well, working together. Obviously, we know the good mates that they are, and a lovely final ball from Ben Garuccio arriving down the left-hand side, and as we've become accustomed to seeing from Nick Milanovic in his NPL days, he knows where to be in the box to find a goal, and it's an expert little finish, just sticking out a toe and poking it in, and he was obviously wrapped after it as well. Well, we're going to hear from him and Jerry a little bit later. Those two have formed a great bond, a great friendship. They've moved in together. They've got a good rivalry going on FIFA as well.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Keen to ask them about that, but always great to see the young players come up and perform on the big stage when they get their opportunity. We're also going to be talking to Chris Pehlivanis, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what's happening in Tasmania at the moment, Nick. Yeah,
a big, I guess it's not a big announcement because everyone knows that we're heading back to Tassie this year, but the launch today of the Mackers Festival of Football. So plenty of media opportunity down in Launceston, unveiling the event that's coming pretty fast. It's just over 2 months away in the middle of April. Two big games against Perth and MacArthur down at UTAS Stadium. Calder United will be there again as well, and plenty more action from Football Tasmania and NPL teams down in Tasmania as well. Family fun events and open training sessions and everything that we love about the game. Getting people involved down in Tassie, which is fantastic.
Well, we ourselves were down there last year with FNR, just having a look at what Western United are doing in the community in Tasmania. And I think the club's honesty here is refreshing as well, because they're not trying to come in and say, we are Tasmania's team. Yeah. Tasmania should have its own team, and they will one day. They will have an A-League team. You have to believe in that with the expansion of our game. But in the meantime, while the stadium is being built, while there's the travelling roadshow going on, if you want to come down and support this team and bring some high quality football to your doorstep, then, you know, please be our guest.
Exactly right. And that has been the message that, we're not taking over Tassie, or we're not becoming Tassie, but we're giving them that little taste, and hopefully, hopefully, some fans in Tassie do come on board with Western United, but even more so of a vision or a goal is that hopefully, you know, this obviously being there last year, coming back this year. Not sure if we'll be there next year, but hopefully that all, you know, can continue that push for, as you said, a deserved team down in Tasmania.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe some pathways for young footballers as well who don't have an A-League team to aspire to in their home state. We're going to take a really quick break here because Chris Pehlivanis, the CEO of Western United, is waiting for us on the other side. So don't go anywhere here on The Green Room, presented by Simonds Homes.
Ever wanted a career in football? From TV deals to player transfers, football is now a global multi-billion-dollar industry in need of qualified professionals who know the sport inside and out. Brought to you by the Global Institute of Sport, the Masters of Football business is delivered by experts from Australia and around the world. And online with unique access to networking and guest speaker events at the iconic MCG. Be one of the first Australians to get a football master's degree. Apply now to start in February 2022. Learn more at gis.sport/FNR. gis.sport/FNR.
Western United, can they find something here? Big chance, Barisha! He's done it again! And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Farias, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamante again! Oh, he's done it! Twice! He's chipped a keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's The Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Well, we're delighted to have a chance to speak to the CEO of Western United. He comes to us live now. Josh Parrish and Nick Hughes with you here on The Green Room, presented by Simonds Homes, and Chris Pehlivanis is on the line. Good evening to you, Chris.
Guys, and hopefully it's all the listeners, and just en route to watch the Western Sydney Wanderers with our coaching staff.
Doing a bit of opposition scouting, are we, before the match on Saturday?
Well, not me, but the other boys are, yeah. Right.
You don't pass on any tips and hints if you pick up on some tactical tweaks that Rudes has got them doing during the game?
No, I'll stay in my lane. Let the guy there.
Leave it to the professionals. That's what we like to see.
That's it.
So, it's an interesting game coming up against Western United's former head coach. And, we're going to talk to the boys, Nick and Jerry, about this later. But there's a lot of familiarity on both sides. You know how he coaches. He knows a lot of your players and how you play. So it's going to be a bit of a battle of the intel, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. I mean, it's an interesting one for us. I mean, again, it's like 3 points on offer, and it's important for us, in this part of the season, to solidify the good start we've made. And so it's an important game. And the boys, a bit of a road trip and short turnaround. So I'm sure they'll get up. And I think he does know a lot of our players, but we also have a lot of new faces in the squad that he won't be familiar with. And I'm sure our guys will put on a good outing like they always do.
What did you make of the game against Mackers last night? Milanovic, Harris, Skotadis all coming into the starting lineup and performing pretty well with the big boys.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Windsor-Hall's, Dylan as well, and Price. I mean, I think if I sit back and have a look at it as CEO, I couldn't be more happy that, the whole squad that's done a hard pre-season, been there for the senior guys, and being able to make a solid contribution. I think as CEO, you couldn't be more happy that everyone's had a contribution, and couldn't be more wrapped for the kids. We're a little bit unlucky at the final result, and I'm sure we'll learn from it and we'll grow from it. But would have been good to get the win. But if you asked me who would get a point before the game, I probably would have said, where do we sign and let's move on. But it's an amazing group we're creating, and as you can see, some of these younger kids are going to give a solid contribution as the season goes on, because we're going to need everybody.
Obviously, you're up there over the border with the team, and you're up there as well in Wollongong for the last away trip. After that sort of string of Melbourne games that we had, getting a bit of familiarity, obviously a couple in Geelong and a few at Amy Park as well. How's the atmosphere been on those away trips? Do we sort of feel that we're getting that team bonding and things are continuing to grow within the group?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the coaches and the senior playing group and the leadership of Diamante and Risdon, the culture that we've created this year has been amazing. It's been a massive step from last season where we were and where we are now. And as a result of all the hard work and the culture we're creating, I think the results are also starting to show. So it's something that takes hard work, and if you do the hard work, the results will fall our way. So, John and his team and the guys, as I said, should be commended. And, as I come on these trips, I sit back and just admire and observe the hard work we're doing. And I know we're in a really good place. And I know that, the green and black family is going to have a lot to celebrate this season.
And a big announcement sort of off the pitch, if you like, today as well. The official launch of the Mackers Festival of Football, something that's obviously really important for the club. Take us through what's going to be on offer this year and how exciting it is for the club to return to Tassie.
Yeah, Tassie's super important. And, last year we went there and we set some foundations, and this year it's important we go another step. We really want to engage with the local community there and the football community there. And, we've got the family festival there, and we're going to do a lot of activations. And not only that, we'll also have, two senior A-League men's games there, along with some other curtain raisers, which will include some elite women's football as well. So we're really excited what Tasmania's got to offer for us. We love going there, and, we want to create a fortress there. Last year we walked away with 4 points in our 2 games there, and we believe that, again, we can use that as a real big competitive advantage, to grow the club off the field, but on the field also to use it as a big competitive advantage. So just encouraging all our Tasmanian family and friends to join us on that trip, and hopefully a lot of people also venture down from Melbourne. So it's going to be an exciting weekend over the Easter break, and I'm looking forward to getting there as soon as possible.
Aside from what the club can get out of it, what do you think Tasmania and Tasmanian football fans can get out of Western United coming and playing on their doorstep and running events like this?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we're working hand in hand with Football Tasmania to create some longer term benefits for the state and for the region. So we're working with them, to create some capabilities off the field to, when they do get an A-League team, so they've got, they're aware of, the resources and the requirements required to, put on, an A-League men's and women's program. We're working with them to also create elite development pathways for their kids to, have an opportunity to play at the elite level until they get an A-League team. So, and also, the ability to interact with the current day stars. So there's a lot of interactions at the moment, but it's something that's going to continue to grow, and we're working hand in hand with Football Tasmania and the Tasmanian government to make this really rewarding for all the people of Tasmania.
And Mark Torcaso's Calder United women's team are going to be making the trip down as well, affiliated club of Western United, of course. How excited are you to see them in action at UTAS Stadium?
It's super. When we went into this venture with Calder, we had a dream, and that dream is going to come into reality, and it's about giving girls of the Western exposure, and giving them those opportunities is something that, we can only dream of. So that's another step. And, as we all know, next season we'll also have our WA League women's team in action, and this is a good opportunity for some of those girls to put their foot forward to be into that squad as well. So I'm super excited, and anytime we give our young female athletes an opportunity to be on the big stage is only a good thing.
I think the great thing about Tassie is it really, it's, as it says on the label, it's the festival of football. Obviously the 2 A-League men games sort of headline that week or weekend, but we really are including all areas of football. We mentioned Calder United, and you mentioned some of the work that's going on to help Tassie sort of prepare for when or if, hopefully, they get their own franchise. We've seen already 5 youth players from South Hobart come across and take part in a week's training and a match as well with the academy. So again, how important is that to keep growing those connections at the academy level as well as that elite level?
Super important, and that's why we do these things. And that's why the Tassie government gets involved. That's why the Football Tasmania gets involved, because creating opportunities for young Tasmanians to come and trial with us not only gives them a great opportunity, great experience, but it also gives us an opportunity to work with some new talent that hasn't been on our doorstep. So I love those opportunities, and that's why we do the things we do. And we want to give all the kids in the West an opportunity, but if we can extend it to our family and friends in Tassie, that's something that is equally as important for us.
How important has David Clarkson been in this equation? And we knew he was involved in the kind of Tasmania part of the process and trying to get some pathways set up.
Oh, look, I'd like to say he hasn't done anything, and because it's his birthday, but no. Happy birthday to David if he's listening as well. But David's integral. Not only the stuff he's doing in Tasmania, but all the stuff he's doing in our community. David has a rich history in football in Victoria and Tasmania, and what happens with that is he's got an ability to engage with the community and help us build something really special, not just for today, but for the future. And that's what's really important. So I think the work that David's doing, you can see a little bit of it now, but a lot of it will be seen in the future when we start to see some of these, young kids coming through in the community and, our fan base increasing.
And the NPL season's not far away, of course. So Calder United will be playing, but also the youth, the NPL 3 side who are gearing up for it. They had a friendly win over the Football Empowerment Development Squad on the weekend. Are you optimistic about this season's promotion chances? We know that the side was so close to something special before the season was unfortunately cancelled due to the COVID lockdown.
Yeah, no, I'm very optimistic for both our Calder NPL team and our NPL 3 sides. Anthony Frost and Mark DeCasso are doing a fantastic job, leading their coaches and their players. But I'm also very optimistic that we're going to unearth some more talented players for both our A-League men's and women's team, and that's critical. So promotion is not the only thing, but it's also a platform for us to continue to develop elite talent. So I'm really excited, and I was out there on the weekend when the boys took on the Football Empowerment Squad, and what a day it was, an opportunity for both sides. And there was some elite talent on both teams, and just such an exciting opportunity, something that we want to continue to do going forward, is working with both our young kids and obviously the football empowerment community as well.
Really is looking like an exciting next few months for the club. Sitting top of the table is never a bad thing. Heading to Tassie, Ballarat is in less than a month. NPL seasons are starting up. So I guess from your point of view, leading this club, how important, how inspiring is the work that's already been done, and how does that sort of motivate everyone at all levels of the club to keep pushing forward and keep achieving great things, not only in the next few months and until the end of the 21-22 season, but going forward in the months and years ahead as well?
No, it's super exciting, and look, I'm very proud, and the stuff that we're achieving both on and off the field is due to the hard work of all our staff and all our Western United family. But I'm super excited what's to come, and I know we're top of the league. It's a long season, but you got to remember where we're coming from too. We came from a long way back, and the culture and the foundations that are being set under John Aloisi and the team is something that not only will be fruitful for this season, but seasons to come.
Well, we know you've got to make kickoff there, Chris, so we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for making the time. Enjoy the game tonight, and enjoy the game coming up this weekend for Western United, playing against Western Sydney Wanderers on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, thanks. Very important, and it's an important game this week, and we're obviously away next week against Sydney FC, but then we'll have a couple of home games to come after that, which will be very important for us. So really important period for us on the field over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we solidify the good start we've made in the season.
Well, top of the table, you're doing something right.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for all the support.
Chris Pehlivanis joining us here on the Green Room. We're going to take another quick break, and on the other side, a couple of young starlets joining us to talk about their first team experience and exposure during that exciting game against Mackers, a 2-2 draw, but Nick Milanovic scoring his first goal for the club, Jerry Skotadis playing an integral role in that goal as well. Those two great mates and teammates will be joining us on the other side of this break.
We are more than engineers. We are more than project managers. We are more than surveyors. We are more than infrastructure specialists. We are more than planners. So, who are we? We are problem solvers, providing the highest quality service and results. We are a team of skilled professionals, focused on customer needs and outcomes. We are 23 years of industry experience, adhering to the highest safety standards. We are Melbourne, and we are right across Victoria. We are the Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions. Lanco Group. We are more than you realise, and we are ready to partner with you.
Launch your global career in football business. Study a master's degree online with unique access to the MCG and a big-hitting Australian industry network. Brought to you by the Global Institute of Sport, who also have campuses at the iconic Wembley Stadium in London and Etihad Stadium in Manchester. Be one of the first Australians to get a football master's degree and join GIS's global network of football leaders. Apply now to start in February 2022. Learn more at gis.sport/FNR. That's gis.sport/FNR.
Western United, can they find something here? Big chance, Barisha! He's done it again! And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Farias, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamante again! Oh, he's done it twice! He's chipped a keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's the Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Welcome back to the Green Room here on FNR Football Nation Radio, the official Western United club show, presented as always by Simonds Homes, the great Australian builder. I'm Josh Parrish. I'm here with Nick Hughes, and we've got a couple of special guests joining us, Nick.
Absolutely, we do. A big game last night and a big opportunity for some of the younger lads in the team. In particular, one joining us right now had a night to remember, I'm sure. We've got Nick Milanovic and Jerry Skotadis. Welcome to the Green Room, guys.
Thanks, guys. How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Well, you've come as a package deal. You both played last night. I'll ask you each in turn, who had the better game?
I think we both played good. We both had a good performance.
Oh, very diplomatic. As soon as we started recording, all the banter went out the window, and they were consummate professionals. It's always team first.
That's the media training in Western United. We do our job.
So it was your first goal for the club, Milo. Take us through it. What do you remember from the passage of play? How did it feel when you stuck it in the back of the net?
It was actually really surreal. Like, it was a really good feeling because, like, it's because you come off the bench so many times thinking, I'm going to score, and just you like don't get the chance in those minutes. So when I was starting, I was like, okay, like I can actually get one today. And luckily it was a really good play, and Benny put it on a platter. If I missed that, I would have been spewing.
I know around the training ground and stuff, you're a big fan of the Sioux. So I was expecting it to come out, but it didn't. Was that just adrenaline or?
Yeah. No, we made an agreement with the boys. That only comes out if it's a bomb. If it's a bomb or a bicycle or a back heel, something crazy, then they'll come out.
I look forward to it then.
When did you know you were starting? Take us through the process. When did the coach tell you were in?
Well, we had our game. Yeah, we had our game, and we knew that like the game was 3 days later. So we we might actually have a sniff like of getting in the lineup. So yeah, we got to training and we're just like a bit like, we're going to start? Are we not going to start? And then we'd done patterns and we're in that starting lineup, and we're buzzing, both of us.
Jerry, you've already made your breakthrough into the first team earlier along the line. Were you ribbing some of your younger teammates a little bit, saying, what about you catch up?
No, I'm not like that. I'm a nice guy, you know what I mean? No, but it was good. Even like Chrissy got his starting debut. So it was good for most of us. It was nice.
So what's the difference in quality and in, I guess, atmosphere and pressure like when you're actually in a first team game versus playing with the NPL lads or playing in training?
I would say it's hard because different players, like they react to different things. I think the main thing is just to stay calm and play your own game. That's the thing I would say.
What about your first few touches, Milo, when you're on the pitch? Were you nervous at all, or does it go straight back to instinct as soon as possible?
My first touch went straight out. And I was a bit head lost. I was like, oh no, like don't start like that. And then just played a bit safe, got into the game, and then it started coming. Yeah, so.
For both of you coming into the midfield for the match, obviously Nick coming in primarily in the Diamante position, I can imagine they're pretty big shoes to fill, and Jerry, for yourself, more of the Neil Kilkenny role, who I think I'm correct in saying hadn't missed a minute of the season prior to that. So I guess both of you an answer each. How was that in terms of filling those shoes and stepping into the lineup in the places of those guys?
Yeah, well, everyone knows Diamante's quality, so it was big shoes to fill. But he spoke to me as well before the game, told me just like you play on the second team in training, where there's no pressure and you just play a game. Just do the same thing, be calm, confident, attack, get in the box, like don't overcomplicate things. And so, yeah, he said to me, he's like, you do all that, you score. So then half time he comes to me and he's like, I told you. I told you how. So, yeah, it was buzzing for me, which was really good.
Easy for him to say. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. And Jerry?
Well, for me, Kilkenny's probably been the best midfielder in the league for probably a while now. So, yeah, I look up to him at training every day, learn things from him. So it was, I've tried to base my game around him. But, yeah, it's good to look up to him.
So let's rewind a little bit in your careers. How did you make the journey to Western United, and where did your football journey start? I'll start with you, Milo.
Well, I started at a Croatian club in Sydney called Sydney United. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're aware, NPL team. And I spent a lot of time there when I was younger. It was just a family thing. Like my dad played there, like cousins play there, mates play there. So like just a Croatian background, Croatian club sort of thing. So yeah, I played there. Then I headed off to Western Sydney Wanderers from the first year they came out, and I think I was there for till I come here, so a good 5 years, 6 years, and I was always like the smallest player. I was never big, always got pushed around. So then I started hitting a bit of growth spurts, and like you could see your game develops when you grow. So yeah, then I moved here, and ever since then, it's been good. Enjoyed it.
And Jerry, what about your kind of football upbringing? Did you cross paths, you two, at the Western Sydney Wanderers?
I don't think so.
He played with my brother.
Yeah, I played with his younger brother.
Yeah.
So you just missed each other?
Yeah.
So I was at Southern Sharks NPL in Sydney. Then I went to Wanderers for, I think, a couple of years. Then I went to Sydney FC for a couple of years, and then Western.
So when did the call come for you to come down to Western United?
Mine was, I think, the first year, just before the season started. So it was October, early October, I think, of 2019.
And who from the club gets in touch with you?
I don't know who is that.
I don't know. It's just, I actually can't remember either. Yeah.
Disembodied voice and a burner phone. Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
I'm pretty sure it was the boss, the old boss, Rudin.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Obviously, you guys have become very good mates now. Has that mainly come from your time at Western United, or we mentioned it before? Was there any part where you sort of crossed paths and were aware of each other prior to both of you coming out?
We met when I moved here because I was obviously here after him. So I moved here and we had the hub in Sydney, and I was still getting to know the boys sort of, and then after the hub we come back, we moved in together. So then ever since then we've best mates.
That hub has been talked about by some of the other players as a pretty important kind of bonding experience for the squad.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was a good experience for all of us.
Yeah.
What was the day-to-day like? It sounds like it was a bit like a school camp or something.
So the first 2 weeks, you weren't there.
No.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks we were in somewhere, Blacktown or somewhere in Sydney, and we couldn't leave our rooms, just eat in our rooms for the first 4 days. Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
First 4 days, we had to eat in our rooms. We did sessions in our rooms.
Yeah.
Police around the whole hotel.
Terrible.
Yeah. And then we did that for 2 weeks. We were training still, like just training back to the hotel. And then we came to Coogee for like the next 4 or 5 weeks, played the rest of our games, and it was good day to day.
You're back there now? That's right, at the same place?
Yeah. Feels like home.
Yeah. Is it a bit of a sort of reminiscing of that time?
Yeah.
All week the boys have been like buzzing for it because like go back to our old like coffee spots and like the smoothie place down the road. Like everyone's buzzing for it.
That's fantastic. So often when we get young players on that people might not be as familiar with from watching the A-League, we try and get them to describe their own game and what they're good at. But given there's two of you here and no one likes talking about themselves and bigging themselves up, I think I'll get you to explain each other's games and what each of you bring to the team. So first I'll start with you, Milo. What's Jerry like on the pitch?
Jerry, I feel safe when I play with Jerry behind me because he's a good ball winner. He wins the ball. He doesn't back out of challenges. So it's you can trust if you get beaten that he'll be there. He's as you saw yesterday, he's calm on the ball, doesn't panic, which is good. So you can trust him behind you. I think that's where his game is. He's good defensively and he's calm on the ball.
Jerry?
I'd say he's got a bomb of a left foot, by the way. You do. Yeah, mine's good. No, good in the half spaces, good left foot, good shot. Goes forward, always wants to get in the box. That's probably why he scored last night as well, because he always wants to get in the box. If he sees run, he ran, sprinted past the defender and got there first. So, yeah.
Seems to be some complementary attributes between the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played together a bit in the MPL a bit, so we know how to play together. Yeah.
And that MPL 3 squad has come together, very quickly over the last season. Obviously, you guys are in and out with your first team duties and being on the bench and in those match day squads. So you won't have played the entire season in MPL 3, but it seemed to knit together quite quickly and almost on the verge of promotion before the season got cancelled.
Yeah, it was unfortunate actually because that team was really going well. Like they were bonding, even when we weren't playing, so they were going well. Like they were a really good side. I think they could have really pushed it for promotion.
What do you put that down to? Because, we've heard from people like Steve Horvath that it was kind of a last minute thing to get all the players ready to go and they didn't have much time together in pre-season. So why did that squad hit it off? Was it just due to, happen to have a bunch of talented young players in it, or were there other factors?
I think a large part of it was their coach, Muzza. He brought a lot of the boys together. He was fun to be around. All us A-League boys loved him. He brought a good vibe around and all the boys obviously liked him. And, he put a really good squad together. They all gelled. And you can see they're always still hanging out with each other today. Like they're all good mates. So it's easier when you're all mates. You know what I mean?
Have you been able to keep an eye on any of the MPL guys currently going into this season? Obviously, I think the season's a month and a half away or so. Have you been able to catch anything?
Yeah, it's a bit harder to watch them because now we're at Essendon. They're still in Caroline Springs. So,
but we seen last year like Bozanovsky. He came from there. He got a scholarship now, so he's doing well. So it's good to see the boys come up.
Yeah.
Does it help when you're making that jump to the first team that you've got a few boys alongside you that you know really well, that you've got sort of a pre-existing playing relationship with?
Yeah, well, for them it would be because like I come in, I didn't really know anyone other than Tommy Ushkov was the only one I really knew. So
from Sydney United, was that, or just from the Croatian community?
Yeah, Sydney United. So now Bozza and Ben Collins and Adisu, they've all come up. They've already played with me, Jerry. They know a few of the boys, so it was a bit easier for them, to fit in, sort of. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at some of the social content that Western United have done, and there is a FIFA match on YouTube featuring both of you. Have you had a chance for a rematch?
Yes. two nights ago?
Yesterday.
No, it was the day before.
Yeah.
I beat him 1-0. But I should have. Nah, I'm saying.
Nah, if I'm completely honest, we can ask Ben Garuccio, we can ask Dylan Pierres. I should have won that game. It was the most rigged thing. Missed every chance on goal and just couldn't score, and he scored his only shot.
Was it Western United versus Western United again?
Yeah. Nah, Jerry's good at FIFA. Jerry's good at FIFA.
Who was you?
Who was I?
Chelsea? I was Chelsea.
I was Liverpool, and he was Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm hearing is we need a decider then, if it's 1-1.
Oh, yeah.
I'll play tonight. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we will.
You'll have to let us know.
Yeah, we will.
Do you have Premier League or European club allegiances?
I'm a Chelsea fan and he's a Man U fan. So,
right.
Yeah.
Man U.
We haven't played with those teams yet.
I think Nick Hughes here was hoping for Liverpool as one of those responses, but we'll let that slide, I suppose.
We can accept it. One of the other social bits, one of the more recent ones was, of course, you guys did the Genius friendship. How well do you know your friend challenge? Sure that plenty of the Western United fans watching have seen it. I wanted to ask. Obviously, you talked about Coogee and how great that's been for you. Milo, I hope you haven't seen any rats crawling around.
Actually, oh God, I hate rats. I don't like them. Yeah, one popped up once on us, me and Jerry, and it wasn't nice.
Oh, really? Oh, so you experienced it firsthand, Jerry.
Yeah. I was on the kitchen table in a second.
Housewife in a 50s sitcom style. Were you screaming or just keeping your distance?
No, I just don't like it.
Are you the type to step in, Jerry? Are you the pest control of the group? Or?
He's just scared as me.
Nah, I don't do bugs. I don't do anything crawly.
Oh, by the way, in Campbelltown yesterday, after dinner? Yeah. After dinner, there was a huntsman above the doorway going in. So everyone was like, I was all right around a few boys, but Jerry was already gone.
Is there an exterminator in the team? Is there someone that steps up and squashes him?
You know what, Lockie Wales, Lockie Wales very well. Lockie Wales was throwing the Powerade caps at it so it would drop.
That's no way to get rid of a spider.
That's a classic Lockie. Why am I not
the glass jar and the piece of paper, just fling it outside. Oh, well, I grew up in Warrandyte, so I had to deal with that. So we like to delve into this show about your personalities off the pitch and, your interests, your music taste, extracurricular activities. What kind of hobbies and stuff do you get up to when you're not playing? Obviously, it's hard at the moment to get out and about with the COVID situation and everything, but what do you usually get up to off the pitch?
We both love a bit of PlayStation, to be honest. We play with Painey. We play with Painey. We play with Christian Theo, Dill, Ben Garuccio, like a bit of COD, a bit of FIFA, a bit of everything. Yeah, because we've got so much spare time after training, so we're like, we may as well play some PlayStation all together and a bit of everything. Yeah, PlayStation mostly.
Who's got the biggest future as an esports player, do you think? Who's the gun?
I don't like giving him compliments, but Jerry.
For FIFA, yeah.
For FIFA, Jerry.
Like Call of Duty, Chrissy. Maybe you.
Christian Theo's good at COD. I'm not bad. Actually, you know what? Everyone is really good, to be fair.
They're good.
Yeah. Because we play that much. Yeah.
We'll have to set up some sort of tournament or something at one point. Would you both rank yourself, obviously, Milo, you said Jerry's up there for FIFA. Would you both rank yourselves among the others as two of the biggest hitters?
Yeah. I'd say me and Jerry are top two.
All right, we'll have to put it to the test.
I tell you what, we've actually done a little bit of like a FIFA tournament with players before. We're during the COVID lockdown in Melbourne when the NPL Victoria season got suspended. We organised a NPL Victoria in 2020 a FIFA tournament. So we'll have to do a rematch and we'll commentate it for you. And then we'll see who emerges as a true champion.
West United one.
Absolutely. When the pressure's really on, who comes up with the goods? So back to the first team. I mean, obviously, you guys had a fantastic game the other night against Macarthur with some of the younger boys cracking the team, but disappointing to cough up the 2-goal advantage at the end of the match. What was the message coming out of that one?
At full time.
Yeah.
The boss is always positive. He was just telling us we keep your head high. It was just a mistake. We're 2-0 up, and it was just one mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, and yeah, they just clawed back into it. You could see they were coming after that first goal. So yeah, just draw together, lose together, basically. And
you still go top of the table with the points, so it's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
You'll take it. But the success that the club has built this season has been built on that solid back line. Do you think you're starting to gel up front a little bit with injections of youth here and there and starting to score a few more goals?
Yeah, I would say so. Yesterday was the game we scored, I think, 2 goals. And then the other game scored 1. So more games. I think a couple more games and we'll gel even more with each other. So it should be good.
And you're coming up against the Western Sydney Wanderers in your next match and your old coach in Mark Rudan, who's just been announced there. Is that going to be an interesting one, facing him on the sideline? Or do you just not think about that during games?
Yeah, it will. No, it will be. It's going to be interesting what he does because, obviously they're
he knows most of us anyway.
Yeah, he knows how we play. He knows our strengths and weaknesses as players.
So, and you know how he coaches as well. So it's going to be a very familiar affair. See who comes out on top in the tactical battle.
We often see that sort of new coach turnaround in the immediate aftermath when a new coach starts. Obviously, the Wanderers have probably had a less than ideal start by their standards. Are you guys looking at this as a big game and obviously taking them seriously as you would any game, but how seriously are you taking them based on the form that they've had to start the season, and then this new managerial change?
I think when a new coach comes in as well, all the players want to prove something, try and get the wins for the fans, and especially get the trust of the coach. So I think it'll be a good battle for both teams on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they're also not a side based on paper that you'd think would be at the bottom of the table as well. They've got some quality in that team, so you expect to respond. You can't take a team like that lightly, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, how long is this away trip for you guys? Where's your next home game? I know that victory match has been postponed due to the FFA Cup final, but away to Sydney FC and then at home again against the Western Sydney Wanderers, so you'll have plenty of time to get familiar with them. Are you looking forward to coming back to Melbourne, or are you enjoying at the moment hanging out at your former hub spot?
We're both from Sydney.
Yeah, we're both buzzing with you, but most of the boys didn't were
Melbourne boys.
Yeah, we didn't want to come, but as soon as I knew we'd come to Sydney for a few days, I was buzzing. We both were. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to catch up with anybody, or?
I had. We both. Yeah, I had my family at the game. I'm sure Jerry did too. Yeah. So, yeah, we saw him after the game, which was good, and hopefully see him maybe one or two more times before we leave.
Well, it must have been extra special to score your first goal in front of your family in Sydney as well.
Yeah, that was good. It was special.
What did your folks say to you after the game?
My old man gave me nothing. But no, I had my mum was buzzing. I had a few of my cousins there. My both my grandmas were there as well. So it was just it was good to see everyone there cheering on. I can only imagine what they were like when I scored. A bit of a crazy bunch.
So, I mean, there's the classic kind of football dad who's always telling you what you did wrong instead of. I've scored my first ever goal, and I think the first thing you said to me was, what about the one after you put in the next stadium? So,
Hey, it's on your weaker foot.
No, that's. I've got to do better there.
so have your family's been a big influence on both of you football-wise?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, any stories that come to mind from your childhoods or so forth with your folks either coaching you or taking you to games and things? Anything that comes to mind?
I would say one of mine. So I would have like a decent game when I was younger.
I already know.
My hard parents. No, you always think it's like my parents would always be the dad. But my mom used to always be the more harsh one. So I'd come out of this change room and be like, oh, I think I played good today. I go up to my dad, good game. I go to my mum, just the nod like this. Always not good enough.
Yeah, that was similar to me. Like I'd go have a game, like say when I was younger at United, and I think I'd play okay. Like I knew I didn't play the best, and I'm like, oh no, I was dreading getting in the car with my dad, and I'd always sit in the back seat when I knew I didn't have a good one. And just typical Croatian dad. He always looked after me. He's done everything till this day for me. So yeah.
And last one from me, what are your personal goals for the rest of the season, going as you have done? What do you want to achieve by the end of the campaign on an individual level?
Or for me, it's obviously more minutes. Like that's the key goal. More minutes is more development, and hopefully a few more goals in there somewhere would be nice.
Well, you're off to a good start. What about you, Jerry?
I'll say the same, just more minutes under the belt. And as a team, I think we should. We want to win it.
We want to win it. I think we can win it with this team, and that's the goal. Yeah.
Well, top of the table, you're on your way. And always great to see some of the youngsters coming through and making an impact on the first team. Congratulations to both of you. I guess commiserations on the draw, but, you were both substituted at that point, so that's not your problem. Best of luck for the rest of the season. Enjoy being in a familiar environment with your family, and we look forward to seeing you playing back down in Melbourne.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll take a break here on The Green Room on FNR Football Nation Radio, presented by Simonds, the Great Australian Builder, and we'll be back with more on the other side of this break.
Launch your global career in football business. Study a master's degree online with unique access to the MCG and a big-hitting Australian industry network. Brought to you by the Global Institute of Sport, who also have campuses at the iconic Wembley Stadium in London and Etihad Stadium in Manchester. Be one of the first Australians to get a football master's degree and join GIS's global network of football leaders. Apply now to start in February 2022. Learn more at gis.sport/FNR. That's gis.sport/FNR.
We are more than engineers. We are more than project managers. We are more than surveyors. We are more than infrastructure specialists. We are more than planners. So, who are we? We are problem solvers, providing the highest quality service and results. We are a team of skilled professionals focused on customer needs and outcomes. We are 23 years of industry experience, adhering to the highest safety standards. We are Melbourne, and we are right across Victoria. We are the Lanco Group, your business partner for engineering solutions. Lanco Group. We are more than you realise, and we are ready to partner with you.
Presented by Simonds. It's The Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Yes, the great Australian builders, Simonds Homes, making this show possible each and every week. We thank them for their ongoing support. You can see them in the front of those glorious jerseys we've got in the background. Which is your favourite, Nick Hughes?
I mean, I love the away one, but you know the home colours are the club colours. So I think it's hard to go past that. And I do love that's fade down towards the bottom of the shirt. It was interesting last night with the white shorts because of the
kick clash.
You have to have different coloured shorts for the assistant referees to be able to see across the line. So we're wearing the home kit. Shorts, shirt and socks, but the away shorts, which is a bit of an interesting look.
Was it unconventional?
It was a bit because the away shorts have that spray painted sort of pattern on them,
okay,
which didn't quite fit with the home. But I think the boys made it look good.
Yeah, they rocked it. That detail escaped my attention. By the way, didn't twig to that, but I think it actually should be called a kit blend. They're supposed to clash, right? You know, it's supposed to contrast.
Yes.
I don't know why we call it a kit clash. Anyway, topic for another day. Back for the final time here tonight. It's been a pleasure to chat to CEO Chris Pehlivanis and young guns Nick Milanovic and Jerry Skotadis about their experiences in the first team. They are absolutely buzzing, not only to be playing first team football, but to be doing so in front of their families in Sydney. I mean, that's a bit special.
Yeah, absolutely. You could, I think, particularly with Nick, of course, bagging his first goal, you could tell, just on his face when we asked him about it. And even Jerry, he gave the very unassuming look over his shoulder and was waiting for what he was going to say, which is great. I mean, and like Chris said as well, you can really feel a fantastic culture at the club and within the playing squad. Certainly whenever I'm out there, you can just see the guys, bantering about, and I think what's particularly fantastic is the way that the new signings and so the young guys that are taking that step up is they just fit in seamlessly, and everyone seems to be pulling in the one direction, and it's exciting. We're, I guess, with a shortish sort of season compared to most other professional football divisions around the world, we are almost halfway through, and it's been a great first half, or great nearly first half.
Yep.
And we'll look forward to more.
Yeah, and facing the Western Sydney Wanderers on Saturday, 5:05 p.m. Eastern kickoff time. That one's away from home. The club not playing back at home until the 20th of February. So there's another game against Sydney
against
FC
the Wanderers
in there, and then Wanderers the return game. So Western Sydney are in action as we speak. It's currently 0-0 against Perth Glory. Mark Redan, the former boss of Western United, of course, in the dugout there. So it's going to be an interesting reunion, to say the least. And I don't want to jinx it because we built up Daniel Sturridge and his visit to Amy Park.
Yeah.
We really went great guns on the show and asked all the players about what it was going to be like to play against him, and then he didn't make an appearance for.
Poor Benny Garucho was excited, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wanted to get his shirt, and then no dice. But we'll have Jack Rodwell coming to face Western United on Saturday. Playing as a number 10, I note, in this particular fixture. I wouldn't say that's his strongest position, but, didn't get to see the Liverpool legend. We get to see an Everton legend. That's not quite the same.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we're stretching the definition of legend on Jack Rodwell. Maybe he's a Man City legend.
Not a Sunderland legend, unfortunately.
Not at all.
Didn't go well for him.
But no, it'll be an intriguing game. And like I asked Nick and Jerry, you look at the Wanderers in 11th or 10th now because they're
the live ladder,
technically gaining a point at the moment. You look at their squad on paper and it certainly isn't the 10th or 11th best squad in the league. You mentioned Jack Rodwell. He's obviously a big name. Although we talk about gaining a point, I believe the Wanderers might have just scored.
Ooh, live goal updates here on Saturday.
But yeah, you look at the squad, Ugarkovic, has played for the Socceroos? Or not yet?
He's never debuted.
Never.
And
Wow.
that, to me,
That's
is
crazy.
a stunning one.
That is wild.
I think he's one of the best midfielders in the competition. And
Agreed.
be closing him down and not letting him dictate the pace of the game that's going to be crucial on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always been a massive fan of his. Troisi's obviously certainly a Socceroo.
Yep, scored a winner in an Asian Cup final. So
Yeah, for sure.
enough said there.
Dimi Petratos, Terry Antonis have done great things in this league, not playing heaps at the moment, both on the bench tonight, but it's a very strong squad. And again, we mentioned that little turnaround that a team will often have with a new coach, and we'll be expecting the Wanderers to come out firing. But the form that Western United are in, they shouldn't be fearful of any other team in the league.
Absolutely not. And you talk about the big names in the Wanderers squad, but I think Western United has the cohesion and the identity as a team that Western Sydney Wanderers haven't found so far this campaign. And maybe new manager bounce will play a part, but I'm thinking a win here is probably the odds-on prediction. You going to give me a score prediction for Saturday?
Score prediction. Wow.
Just sprung that on you.
Well, I mean, 1-0 has been the theme.
Yes.
hasn't it? Every win has been 1-0.
Loves a clean sheet, does this Western United outfit.
Of course, last night was... excuse me. Last night was...
A little bit more open.
First league match where we've scored multiple goals. Obviously scored 2 against Newcastle in the FFA Cup playoff, which just feels like absolutely ages ago.
Years ago now.
But I'll say 2-0. 2-0.
2-0. I'm going to go for the theme. I'm going to say 1-0 to Western United.
Yeah, you could be right.
I don't think it's going to be easy, this one, but I think they've got just enough quality to squeak past a side that's still finding their feet this season, almost the halfway mark. So it's not going to be easy, but that's my prediction, and I'm sticking to it. Hughesy, it's been a pleasure to have your company on this show this week. If you missed any of today's show, it'll be available on the FNR Football Nation Radio podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get them.
Everywhere.
It'll be up very shortly. So if you want to hear from Milo and Jerry or Chris Pehlivanis about the exciting things happening at the club, make sure you check it out on the podcast. But from us, it is goodbye for now, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Western United, can they find something here? Big chance, Barisha! He's done it again! And it's a goal! Unbelievable! What about this? Dylan Farias, his first touch of the game. Sanchez! Western United do claim the 3 points. And Diamante again! Oh, he's done it! Twice! He's chipped a keeper!
Presented by Simonds. It's the Green Room on FNR, Football Nation Radio.